I'm Diane Roberts and I'm a prophetic artist. That means I paint pictures about God, about dreams and visions and the Bible. Today I'm going to talk about not being able to have children. This was some time ago, and it's a very painful subject to talk about that, and I hope that this helps people in certain situations. Not being able to have children as a woman, for me, I was a career woman and I was very confident and very careful about not becoming pregnant when I was a teenager and as I was growing up and in a profession. And then I thought, as soon as I stopped taking a contraceptive pill and taking precautions, that I would just fall pregnant very easily, and I was in control of that. That is a delusion. God is in control of whether you have children or not. It can happen in any circumstances or not happen. Anyway, so I was married. I'd been married for a few years and nothing happened. I became very disheartened and disappointed, and I felt that I was never going to be able to have children. Was a regular church goer. My church life and also my spiritual life was growing with God. I would pray quietly and silently with God each day. I would go to church on Sundays, and I would go to my home group at least once a week. I was considering going for tests to see if it was my problem, but anyway, it was coming up towards Lent time, and so I decided to have a fast, and my fast was from the Lent fast, which was giving up chocolate, giving up alcohol. Easter came along, and I was working full-time at the time and very busy, but it was suggested that we were doing courses at the church, and there was a course that was all about healing and learning about healing, and it was called Saints Alive in Healing. And I thought, I'll go to that. And I learnt about healing and how Jesus' ministry was all about healing, how the apostles healed people. Miracles happened. And I was incredibly struck by this, and to think that we have the power to heal others through our commitment and love of Jesus, of the Holy Spirit living within us. We don't heal them, but we allow the Holy Spirit to work through us to heal others. And we came to the last day, the last evening we were going to of the course, and honestly, it had not occurred to me at all that I needed, that I could pray for healing or ask people to pray for healing for my childlessness and my barrenness, as I was beginning to describe it to myself. Because I was a barren woman. Some time. We're not talking about 1 year, 2 years. We're talking about a good 7 years. The very moment when I was, it was my turn to be prayed for, said, what did I want healing for? Obviously I'd expressed to my friend who was on the course too, female friend, that I was concerned that I couldn't have children, and she suggested perhaps I could pray for a child. So, because I was quite a young Christian at that time and my faith was really weak, I said, yeah, okay, let's go for that. So I knelt down and people prayed and laid hands on me, as I'd done for them, for their situations. And we prayed for a child. We prayed for a baby to come. And I didn't really think any more of this at all. Literally, I just, thought, yes, I've done the course, I've done the Saints Alive in Healing. Very much the badge owning Christian I was at that time. Very prideful, very full of myself, very thinking, oh, this is an elitist group that I'm a part of. All the wrong things. Anyway, so time ticked on, it became the summer, and I was teaching, and I used to have black coffee. Anyway, this morning came about, and I had my black coffee to keep me going in the classroom, and I found that it tasted horrible. I just left it. No, leave that to one side. So I didn't think any more of that. Didn't think a thing. I just continued teaching, and I started feeling a bit ill, tired and fatigued, and I just thought, oh, maybe I'm going down with a bug. Didn't really think about it really very much at all, but I just felt a bit ill sometimes, specifically in the mornings, and didn't feel well. So then, still didn't think about it. Nothing dawned on me at all. And then, because I'd actually given up keeping up with my periods, I hadn't even put them in my diary. I hadn't even measured them at all. I hadn't even thought about the days because they were quite irregular and erratic. So I just carried on as normal. But then this went on for about a month. I still felt unwell. And so then it suddenly dawned on me, perhaps I could be pregnant. Perhaps I was pregnant. Perhaps it could be a possibility. Perhaps a miracle had taken place. Perhaps this could be a possibility. So I went to the chemist. I bought one of these True Blue pregnancy tests, and this was the first time I had ever done that. And what you've got to do with the pregnancy test, you've got to wee on it and look at it and look at the result, and it said positive. And I read the instructions, and I thought about it again and looked at it again and thought, well, this means that I'm pregnant. Might be wrong, but anyway. So I still was in a state of denial for about a week until I went to the doctors, and then had a full, this is going back a full years, because actually those tests are very efficient. Will tell you very early on if you are pregnant. So the test is more or less 99% accurate. And so I was pregnant. And then I suddenly put the pieces together. I suddenly realised I just prayed for a child about a month and 6 weeks previously. I hadn't been even pregnant up to that point ever in my life. And so I would say that was a miracle. The coincidence is incredible that I should get pregnant 6 weeks after, or know that I'm pregnant 6 weeks after this particular prayer. So thank you. I would say that was a gift from God, and Jesus is faithful, and that was how I became pregnant and had a baby. And I just pray that this gives hope to others who are in a similar situation, that don't ever give up, that you will never have a child. And there are loads of cases where after prayer people are granted with children. Please subscribe if you're interested to hear more testimonies about my life, and visit my website if you'd like to see more about prophetic artwork.